another edition of Joseph Apartments Talk Show. I've got some great guests today. We've got John Wright, who is going to be our key guy, locksmith key guy. Bob Cooper from Brothers Termite, and Candy from Ambassador Property Management. And today, as a special guest, we have Bill Gorman and his son Tim Gorman. Bill and I are vicious competitors over the years, like two caged animals. But I have tremendous respect for Bill over the years, full of integrity, incredible competence. And when I think of Bill, I think of you as someone that really repositions clients' properties. And if you want a second opinion, if you don't like my opinion, feel free to call Bill. I'll have his contact information at the end. But Bill, let's start with you. What's going on right now in the real estate industry from your point of view as a 90-year veteran?
Yeah. The biggest thing is a lot of people are doing partial exchanges. What they're doing is they're looking who they are, where they're at, and Tim developed a program where it shows what they're doing. Then on a partial exchange, they'll pull out some cash, pay taxes on it, and they can reposition. They even have the form. They can go into they can upgrade the properties. They can do non-real estate investments, reserves, business, vulture funds, and other. And then what we have is where they're at that point in time to there. If they're doing an exchange, they'll do a number of things. Because of where California is, there's very few California to California, unless the property is similar or close to, or buying a partnership, because it's top of the market to the top of the market. Sometimes they'll go out of exchange and they'll come into a house because they're going to be living there for a while. We have a client right now that came out of a 18-unit building, going to buy how many? 5 houses, and give them to the kids. Okay, we got some of the people that are coming out and they're going into 2 or more properties in different parts of the country, TICs and Delaware Statutory Trust. So that's what they're doing right now.
So instead of making one major decision from this property to this property, you're seeing this property to multiple options then? That's the partial part of it?
Well, I kind of counsel my clients that it's better to have more than one property. It's in my book of myths, rather than say, we're going to go 4, 16, so forth. You own a couple fourplexes, you can do different things at different times, you know. And so some will refinance, some will sell if they can offset that. Right now, people are wanting to get in a cash position.
Bill, did you just make reference to a book? How can people get that?
I'll put out some information later.
You can go to our website.
Yeah, website. Yeah.
What's the website?
wrgorman.com.
Right.
Tim, what's going on from your point of view?
You know what? Basically, you talked about it earlier. The first thing we do with any of our clients is we manage their equity. Equity is money in a bank, and we look at how much money they're getting on that return. What we like to do is we like to say, you don't know where we're going unless you know where you're at. So we come in and we get to know our clients. We figure out where they're at, what their goals are, and then what we do is we figure out a strategy to say, okay, is it working for you, and can we help reposition your equity to help better achieve your goals? And we find that one fit. And the strategy my father was talking about is a strategy we're finding more and more adults or the parents of middle-aged children are doing right now is rather than leaving them one property to fight over, they're saying, well, I'll make the decision now and sell the big property and buying multiple properties and saying, guess what, that's going to be yours and that's going to be yours, decision done. So that's more and more of a strategy that we're
I'm going to come back to you guys with where we are in the market as far as pricing and inventory. But let's go to John. John, you do rekeying locksmith for property owners. What can you tell an apartment owner that they should be concerned about, or why should they call you?
Well, when there is changeover of apartment or any building, say single family home, it should always be rekeyed. And main thing is because of liability issues, and you don't know how many keys are out there. And try to get the word out that property management owners need to know that to reduce your liability, you should always get the locks changed.
So if I have my handyman do something with the locks and something goes wrong, some X so comes back in and there's a problem, then I'm liable.
Correct.
But if I hire you as a third party, then you're not liable.
Correct. Yeah. And a lot of people think they're saving money in the long run, and they might be, but if something comes back, it's just like we speed every day. We don't always get that speeding ticket, but that one time you're going to get the speeding ticket, gonna have to go to traffic school and whatnot. So you explain it that way, and a lot of people actually put it in their lease that if they don't rekey, and it's up to the tenant to do that. Well, a lawyer friend of mine told me that if you do that, you're just waiting, because if they decide to go to court because of something that has happened, if it wasn't rekeyed, if someone breaks in without any sign of break-in, just somebody obviously used the key, they can come back even though it's in the lease and sue you, because the normal security for property management and in general property managers do rekey. They'll take that to court saying, well, in general, in the industry, they rekey. They'll say, then you weren't going up to what the standards are of property management, and in the long run, you'll probably be sued.
So if you need locksmith information or a great gift basket, contact John, right? Bob, what's going on? We're now in June, coming up in July. What are the bugs doing that you can share with us publicly?
Well, Jim, yeah, Bob and Brothers Termite Company, been doing this an awful long time. Termites been around 200 million years. They're good at what they do. I do the best I can do to keep you from having problems with them. Part of the equation, Jim, is to let apartment owners know, homeowners and apartment owners, know what's going on with their property. A lot of times we'll get a call. Candy called me yesterday with one, and a tenant will have a problem. You do want to act pretty quickly in a tenant situation, only because, and everybody knows this, you don't want it to escalate. So we try and get out there as quickly as we can. And what I will do is offer the folks, when they call me for a problem, and let's just say Unit A, I will go ahead and suggest at no additional cost. There is no cost. It's actually free for me to go out as long as it's not Hemet. But we'll go out and I can do an exterior inspection. I can look at as much as you want. Very often, a problem that a tenant is experiencing might be related to something another tenant has, and or pieces of wood on the outside of the building, droppings on their car. It's easier to know exactly what's going on all at once than to go out there piecemeal and try and, make 4 or 5 trips to take care of it. We do have, as we talked about earlier, a control program where we go out once a year. There is a fee for that. We do an inspection. We take care of all the treatments, whether it be drywood termite activity or subterranean termite activity, and we take care of all that for you once a year for an annual fee. It also helps you keep up on wood that's been damaged, and we just happen to have a bunch of guys that have worked for us, some of them over 25 years, doing wood repair, wood replacement. Our guys are very skilled at that. So we're kind of a one-stop shop, and everything we can do to help.
So if something goes wrong during the year, you come out for that fee then? So
That's right.
You spray it, take care of it, and then they come back in June.
Yeah, if
You
your
come out
anniversary
there
was
and
in June and somebody thought they saw something in October and it's something that we need to take care of, there will be no additional charge. That's right.
So Candace, let me guess. If someone hires you, you charge a fee, 6% or 10% or whatever the fee is. Just by hiring you and having an arm's length between me as a property owner and the tenant, just because of that, you're able to justify your fee because you're able to be more professional and raise the rents to compensate.
Yeah, and I was just kind of listening to them too. I think I'm hired. The most important part is to educate the tenants truly, because if the tenants aren't educated, we have huge challenge. And I had one example was tenants were a little frightened to call because they feel if they call for any repair that you're going to just spike their rent, and that's not the case always. I had a challenge the other day. They didn't call. Their toilet's been running, and now being that the owner pays water and trash, the bill came in to almost $700. So now
It's a lot of flushing.
well, it's a lot of toilet running, and that we tell them all the time, please call us. We are the person you need to be in touch with.
That's a good point. You're like an attorney in the sense that you explain the law to people, and a lot of tenants don't really have a working knowledge of landlord-tenant relations.
Well, that, and last but not least on that, I was thinking too, for the owner's side is the home protection plan. We're not getting any fee from it. It's a company that we recommend, and there's a few of them. They can pick their own. But it's a home protection plan. It's a fee, annual fee a year, and it's a $65 service call when they come, and they'll either repair or replace. It's really
So you recommend
important.
that?
I really recommend that.
Well, let's wrap this long-winded bunch up with, Bill, your final comments. Really on the market, what's going on inventory and what's going on prices?
I thought you were hired for your good looks, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
What's happening, or what I try to make happen, is the holding period of properties. Into the guide, which Tim will talk about when he talks about pricing in there. If you hold the property 4 years as compared to 6 years exchanging, starting 24 years ago with $200,000, it's $8 million differential. $8 million. It's in the guide over the guide. I'll let Tim talk about the guide and some values that you wanted to know.
Okay.
We talked about the market, right?
Yeah, what's going on?
We look every quarter at the market. We look at sales, and we specialize in units 3 to 100 units. Basically, there's really nothing that's out there that is, everything that you look at in terms of rental rates is generally 100 units and above. Getting that information for 3 to 100 units, so we provide our clients with a source of what are the rental rates, what are the comps, what are the conditions for those type of units. And what we're seeing is, we were talking about this earlier, is inventory is low. Prices are high. It's a good time to sell if you have some place to go and something to do with the money. It's an individual decision. We see right now a little bit of softening, and things are taking a little bit longer to sell. And I think people are starting to realize, wait a second, this really is a lot of money.
Put a premium in California, other states and other places. That's why some of the people are going out and going in the Delaware Statutory Trust, other parts of the country.
So you're seeing prices rising historically high, and then a softening in the number of transactions then.
Yeah, the number of transactions is low. Inventory is low. What's on the market right now is it's probably not the choice inventory that was there a few years ago.
So Chippendales has their calendar, and W.R. Gorman
Yes,
has their
we do.
calendar. Please do not
Exactly.
all up with us over here.
You know I've been talking about Chippendales for 20 years, and one of my clients brought in a Chippendale shirt.
Nice.
I
Thank
was
you.
going to wear it today.
We got to wrap this up. So, John, thank you for coming in. If you need a professional opinion on your property as far as locksmiths, keys, liability, John's your guy. The phone number will be at the end. Bob, thank you for coming. The termites are still biting, so you're
Yes.
still in business.
That's right.
Property management, nobody. I hear them on the phone all the time talking to the tenants, talking to the landlords. Nobody does a better job on the planet
Thank you.
than you guys, Candy. And thank you, Bill and Tim, my vicious long-term 30-year competitors. After the show's over, we're going to go after each other. But
We put deals together.
we put deals together. Yes, we are active defense, and I admire Bill. Bill is one of my role models. I have patterned my life and my career after him. I have tremendous respect for you and your son. So, yes.
You just want to dance with me at Chippendale.
Yes, I do. So, thank you for watching. I appreciate your attention, and we'll see you next month.